and welcome to North Lanarkshire Council's online visual arts programme. My name is Rachel, and over these next 6 weeks we're going to be exploring the theme Blast into Nature. Okay, so let's make a wee start. Today we are going to be making some little zines, and we're going to be exploring the theme of water. So I'll just have a wee flick through these. You can kind of see. Now, I did these quite quickly and they're quite vague, so you can spend a lot more time on it, but we'll get to that. So you can also unfold them, and we have a little poster on the back. So you can see the inside here and the outside. So I'm going to show you how to do this today. We've also got another fold pattern here that we're going to show you how to make as well. Okay, so this one's more of a kind of accordion style. You can see you can fold it right out, whereas the other one only has 8 pages. This one has 18. And again with this one, we have a little poster on the back. This one's a bit trickier. Okay, so with this one as well, you'll notice that this page and this page are actually on the back. Okay, so we'll make a wee start. I'm going to show you how to make both of these, and then you can pick which one you want. I'll show you how to make a little poster on it, and then you can fill in your design. Okay, so let's start with our 8 page. Alright, so this one here is the one that we're going to be making first of all. These blue lines, we're going to fold along these, okay, and then we're going to cut along this orange line, but I'll take you through it nice and slowly. Alright, so we're going to start, fold our page in half. Okay, so maybe I'll just draw the lines so you can see as we do it. And again. And this one's coming in to make the middle one as well, so we have this like that. Okay, and then our last fold is going to be right up the middle. Okay, so now we have a fold along this side as well. So to make this cut here, we are going to fold our page. So we want it to go, you can see the points here, here and here. So I'm going to fold this back on itself. I mean, it doesn't matter because yours won't have lines on it, but you can see, I'll keep my marks nice and clear so you can see what you're doing. And you're going to cut from the middle here up to this line. Okay, so once we have this, we have our page with our little hole in the middle, so you can see that. We're going to fold it down like this, so you can see like this. We're going to push it together, and then we're going to grab our edges and fold them flat. So we have it like this. Crease all our edges and fold it over on itself. There we go. So this is our first type of zine. Here you can see it matches up, and we have these pages inside. So our theme for this week has been water, which you can probably tell from the little booklet I've done here. An artist that I really like, that I looked at for inspiration for this, is called David Hockney. So he does these lovely paintings of people diving into water, and I don't know about you, but I love that feeling of whenever you get to the swimming pool, just that first jump in. It's great. So I was thinking about that while I was making these. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the second one now. Okay, so for this one, we're going to be folding along the pink lines, all the way along, and then we're going to cut along these orange lines. So it looks a little bit complicated, but don't worry, we'll get round to it, and it's much less intimidating than it seems. So it's quite similar actually to the other one. We're just going to start, fold, in half again. Okay, I'm going to do the same and mark this so that you can see, make it easy to follow along. Okay. Okay. Alright, so you'll notice at this point it's actually the same as this one, unfolded. Alright, so for this we're just going to make 2 extra folds, and that's going to give us 10 extra pages in our zine. Okay. And the same on this side again. Okay, so there we go. As I said, your page is just going to be blank, but you might find it helpful to draw these lines out the first time that you make it, just to kind of have a template to follow. Okay, so I'm breaking my colour scheme on this one, but I'm going to use the green pen to go through, and I'm going to mark the lines that we're going to cut. So we're going to start here, and we're going to go this way, and we're going to cut all the way along to this edge. Okay, we're going to travel over here to our middle here, and we're going to go the other way this time, and again right to the edge. Okay, we're following this one down, so you've kind of got this pattern that's quite easy to follow, and we're going to cut again the whole way off the edge of our page. Okay, so I'll do that just now. And back on yourself, this other side. Okay, and stop there. Alright, so folding this one up is a wee bit trickier because it's so wibbly wobbly, but just pick a side to start, and I'll turn it this way so it's the same as this one. You can see this is going to be our front cover of our zine. Okay, so just make a wee fold. Instead of going this way, you're going to fold it back on itself. Alright, so that's going to go in there. Now, whenever you get to this part, you're folding it back on itself. You're doubling back here, and then you could turn this round to keep it simple, and you're just gonna zigzag your whole way. Same again once you get here, flip it up and just keep going, folding that up, back on itself. There we go. And that is our 18-page zine folds. There we go. So I'll bring that up, this example, for comparison. Alright. So, as I showed you at the start, we're going to pick one of these folds and we're going to work with that today. You can do both in your own time, but we're going to focus on one today. So I'm going to do the 8-page zine as a wee example. So our next part we are going to do is we're going to make our poster on the back of these. So as I said, this is the one that I'm going to do, and I'm just going to start by building up this kind of water pattern on the back. Alright, so whenever I was making this, I was kind of thinking about times that I've maybe been around water, I've gone for a swim, maybe I've gone for a walk near a loch or at the beach, something like that. I was thinking about, you know, patterns that water make, maybe like little sea creatures. This almost looks like a little sea creature. So those are the kind of things that I was thinking about, and you can, you know, come up with your own things whenever you're making yours, but let's make a wee start. So you can see here I've got These are just poster paints, so watercolours. You just add a little bit of water. I've got my paintbrush, quite a thick one. I've also got some string. I thought this might be quite useful for making kind of different patterns. Got some old cling film, just had lying around off food packaging, things like that. And again, some tissue. Toilet roll. I'll show you what I'm going to do with these because these leave some quite nice marks. And then some sponge. Okay, so that is the first bit that we're going to work on. Whenever our thing is dry, we might work into it with some crayons, oil pastels, and maybe some pens as well. But we'll start with the wet bit for now. Okay. So I'm going to mix up some blue. And I'm just going to think about different patterns that you might see on the surface of water. You know, so quite fluid shapes. Maybe you have kind of like taking it right to the edge of your page. You maybe see those kind of grid patterns sort of refracted in the bottom of swimming pools. And I'm not going to be too precious with these. I'm just going to be quite vague. And I might swap out to another colour. Now I'm going to use some green. So you might be thinking about seaweed or sea creatures, different things like that. Okay, and I'm actually going to use my string now. So I'm going to get it a little bit wet, dunk it in my water. And I'm going to just kind of press it into the blue. So yeah, I think this makes quite a nice sort of wave-like kind of shape. And I might even just fold this over very gently, not crease it, but just press it to get those marks. And don't worry too much if you get marks on the back of your page, because as you'll see, oh, I've lost it. As you'll see in these ones anyway, you've kind of got these marks that have transferred through or over, so they're quite nice. Maybe I'm going to try my cling film next. Again, a little bit of green, so you can see these. Obviously it's kind of waterproof, so it's going to kind of bubble your water together. And maybe I'm going to use my sponge as well. I might even try a little bit of white, because it's just going to give me quite a nice subtle texture or pattern maybe on top of these colours that I've already got. And it's actually kind of picking up blues that are still maybe a little bit wet and transferring those, which is quite nice. Okay, so don't focus too much on this, don't be too precious with it, just build up a kind of rough picture, because again, we can work into it with our pens and our crayons at a later stage and add more details, add more colour, things like that. So I'm going to leave this for now, give my hands a wee dry, and I'll leave this to dry. So watercolour normally dries quite quickly, but you can use a hairdryer if you want to speed it up. But for this video, I'm going to whip out one I prepared earlier. Here's to dry. Okay, so you're going to pick which zine cut you want to use, but first of all, let's work into this with some colours. So kind of thinking about this as an example, thinking about different wave patterns, things like that. Again, different colours that you might get. So like really bright seaweeds or tropical fish, things like that. Things that you might see in pictures even. So I'm not going to spend too long on this. But again, white's quite a nice one to add sort of subtle colours in. I've used quite a lot of green. Maybe I'll use some yellow. And once your paint's dry, it's quite nice to sort of work on top of this. By all means, if you want to kind of draw a more detailed picture on top of your kind of abstract background, that could be quite nice as well. But I'm just kind of thinking about the patterns that water might make on the surfaces. Alright, so I'm going to call it there. Again, you can spend as long as you want on this. Okay, so the one that I'm going to make is our 8-page zine. So I'm going to quickly hold this up. So it is a wee bit harder to fold whenever you have painted on it, but I think it's easier doing it as one piece than whenever it's kind of got this hole in the middle, because you might have your water kind of seep through and stuff. Okay, our quick cut up the middle. There we go. So now, whenever you get to this point, you're going to want to fold it so your white side is up. And some of these are a bit tricky. You're going to have to crease against what it's kind of been creased before. That's okay. And just fold it down as you did with the other one. Alright, so once you get to this point, you can make a nice front cover, you can make a nice back cover, maybe you want to write your name. You could use this as a sketchbook even, a way of kind of recording maybe a time that you went to the beach, or walks, things that you saw, if you saw some nice wildlife, things like that. You might be able to see there are some faint little marks from our poster that we've done in the back, so you could kind of follow those for inspiration if you want again. And by all means, use paint on it as well and build up more. So I'm going to kind of think about wave patterns. And kind of maybe trace some of these lines from underneath. Okay, so this is just a rough example, but you can kind of build up various patterns and things. Maybe you want to draw dolphin. And you can build up various patterns as you go along. So that's how you make an 8-page and an 18-page zine. Alright, thanks very much, and remember to check out the rest of our videos.